Hello, I'm Faye Schulz from Mrs Lacy's, and today it's getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving, so we're going to make my mom's recipe for sweet potato pie. And this is what you're going to need for your filling for your sweet potato pie. We're going to start off with North Carolina homegrown sweet potatoes. We're going to have 4 cups of sweet potatoes, and these are cooked, boiled and peeled and mashed together. And then we're going to have 2 cups of sugar. We're going to have 1.5 cups of milk, and I use half and half. We're going to have 1 stick of butter. Don't use margarine, use real butter. You're going to have 4 eggs. You're going to have cinnamon. You're going to have nutmeg, and you're going to have a little bit of salt and a tablespoon of vanilla. Alright, we have the 4 cups of mashed sweet potatoes, and then I am going to add 1 stick of butter. And I'm going to add, this is cinnamon, and I have a good tablespoon of cinnamon, which I like cinnamon. Okay, we have a little bit of nutmeg, and I'm not a great fan of nutmeg, but I'm going to add a little bit anyhow. And probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt, and I just say a pinch of salt, and it's not even worth measuring, so just add a little bit of salt to your sweet potato mixture. Then we're going to add our vanilla, and of course I like vanilla, so I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla. And the vanilla, make sure you use pure vanilla. There's some things you might skimp on, but vanilla is one thing you don't skimp on. Okay, and now I'm going to mix these ingredients together. All right, and we're mixing our sweet potatoes. And I always try to take a spatula when I'm mixing, when I'm using a hand mixer, and kind of get the edges together. Alright, and now we're going to add 1.5 cups of milk, and I like to use half and half. I mean, it makes your pies a little bit creamier. When I make chocolate chess pies and even pecan pies, I use half and half. So we're going to use 1.5 cups of half and half. And again, I'm going to take my spatula and kind of scrape down the edges as we're mixing together. I've got a new hand mixer, so I'm not quite used to it yet. So it's got a turbo, so let's hope I don't hit the turbo and have sweet potatoes flying everywhere. Okay. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to add eggs, and I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. And normally I add 4 eggs to my sweet potatoes, but these were huge eggs. So we're doing 1 at a time. And my mom, when she made it during the holidays, she actually never measured anything, and I don't either. And so I had to really think about it and work with it and figure out exactly what I use to make 2 pies. And now we've got this pretty much mixed together, and I'm going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar. And this is looking really good. There's nothing better in the fall than to have good sweet potatoes. And if you can get the local sweet potatoes, they're so much better. Actually, I have never ever bought a sweet potato in a grocery store before. I grew up on a farm, and we raised sweet potatoes. And then when I got married and we didn't do it anymore, I always made sure that I went to farmer's market in somewhere and made sure that I got good local sweet potatoes. And this looks absolutely fabulous. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off. I think. And what I really like to do is to take a taste of it to make sure it's sweet enough. And I think I need to add just a little bit more sugar. Okay, and I said it needed to have just a little bit more sugar. So I'm adding probably just 1/4 of a cup more. And most of the time, and I can tell this, and I guess I watch my mom do this all the time, is that she always tastes her batter. I mean, even if it's just a little taste, just taste it. And if it's sweet enough, then you know that you've got a great sweet potato pie. Okay, and that's it. And let's turn this off. And we are going to pour it in our deep dish pie shells. And I've used 2 deep dish pie shells. I like deep dish pie shells. And you can buy them in the grocery store. I used to make them a lot, but since I'm in the restaurant and I have to make so many pies, I found a distributor that makes the best pie shells ever, and it's called Chef Pierre. And those are the pie shells that I have and I use at the restaurant. So now we're going to empty our batter into our pie shells. This looks so good. This looks really good. And if you don't want to use deep dish pie shells, don't. I mean, use the other ones. Now, this recipe that I gave you today, if you wanted to halven it, and this actually will make about 3 deep dish pie shells. Okay, all right, and so we have it in here. And so now what you're going to do, you have a preheated oven at 350 degrees, and you're going to bake this for about 45 minutes until it's kind of, the crust is golden brown. And that's it. And you have your sweet potato pies for Thanksgiving. And after 45 minutes, this is your end results. And it is a wonderful Thanksgiving sweet potato pie. And this is actually my mom's, so it is fabulous. And next week we are going to show you how to make the best pecan pie. Not a syrupy pecan pie, but the best pecan pie you have ever had.